Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of a Crypto Bellwether. I've been getting the same question over and over for probably the last 2 weeks, so I decided to create a video. I pulled one of the emails and I'm going to read it to you, and here's the question. It says, Uncle Ray, should I be investing in Ethereum right now at these levels? There's a lot of negative talk about Ethereum, and some of the technical guys are saying it could go to 1,500 or even 1,000. Should I purchase? Well, I'm going to get into that in this video. We're basically going to talk about the macro outlook, my 10-year thesis. We're going to talk about what's behind, uh, what's the support for Ethereum. We're going to talk about the ecosystem, and then we're going to take a look at the chart. Now, before we get into all that, we are trying to grow this community, and we want you to be part of it. So please subscribe and mash that notification so you don't miss any of these videos. And hit that like button. That really helps us out a lot. Go ahead, hit that like button. Now, at the end of this video, please let me know what you think in the comments section. All right, let's talk about the 10-year thesis. What's the long-term macro outlook for Ethereum? Well, in my opinion, no ifs and buts about it, I have 100% conviction that Ethereum is going to be the front runner layer one. And I believe that it's going to hit probably $50,000 minimum in the next 10 years. So based on that thesis and that belief, I'm going to trade accordingly along the way. Now, is a lot of money behind Ethereum. I've been trading different markets for over 30 years, and I learned a long time ago when I used to work for Bear Stearns that you always follow the money. And the big money, the global money, the global banks and Wall Street, and maybe even our federal government are backing Ethereum, and they're giving them the advantage to be the front runner. Now, to briefly talk about that, why do I say that? Why do I think that? Well, check the playlist. There's a video about the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and it's basically some of the most powerful banks and corporations in the world, like JP Morgan and Microsoft, who got together and said, we want to create an alliance to push Ethereum forward. So think about how positive that is, guys. Has nothing to do with Ethereum, basically. They did it on their own. Well, follow that money. They are going to make Ethereum be the number one, layer one. I have no doubt. And maybe they are not successful in the long term, but I have no doubt they'll be successful in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, the ecosystem is off the charts. Nothing compares basically to the ecosystem and what's being created on top of Ethereum. There's billions and billions of dollars just going into the layer twos to help it scale. So that is not going to change. The banks and Wall Street feel comfortable putting big money, I'm talking about billions and billions of dollars into Ethereum, where quite frankly, there's not but a handful of cryptos that Wall Street will even consider as it is today. But Ethereum is definitely the number one behind Bitcoin. Now, let's take a look at the chart. This chart is a 30-day chart. And as you can tell, it has been in that wedge. And I know you've seen a wedge like this if you follow any technical guys. Now, theirs look a lot better. I just did it by hand, but I'm going to make a point about that in a minute. But the way we trade and the way I trade is I want to buy the dips and then I want to stack it when it starts to do something like this wedge, and I want to keep mine all the way down. So at these levels right now, Ethereum is at like 2,600. Well, guys, let's just say some of the technical guys are right. That's fine. But remember the thesis, $50,000 in 10 years. Well, if it hits 1,500, we're going to buy all the way to 1,500. If it hits 1,000, which quite frankly, I don't see that. But if it does, I don't think it's going to go to 1,500. I'd be surprised if it ever breaks 2,000 again, ever, no matter what happens in the world. But if it does, we are going to buy all the way down. I have a lot of rules that I trade by, and I always buy the FUD, I buy the down days, I buy the dips, I stack the dumps. That's it. Now, the reason I want to put this chart on the screen about Ethereum is, a lot of these technical guys sound really, really intelligent. And it's not that they're wrong. However, technicals are just a tool. It's hindsight. It is not going to forecast where Ethereum is going to be in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, damn sure in 2 years. It reminds me of the weather guys. They can't predict the weather tomorrow morning or 2 days, but yet they have a 10-day forecast. That's bullshit. Pardon my French. And I'm going to prove it to you right here. We want to stick with the fundamentals, and then we'll use the technicals to get in and out and decide what we want to do short term, like right as we start to buy or sell. Now, if you follow any technical guys and you've seen this channel, I want to explain to you what they talk about. Like right here, they're going to say, excuse me, right here, they're going to tell you, look, lower lows. We're in a channel, lower lows, and they tell you it's going to keep going lower, right, until we break that channel. The same on the top line, right? They're going to say lower lows, right? We're in a channel. Now, it broke that channel the other day, and I can almost promise you 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 of the technical guys tell you, hey, not only did we break out right here, we got confirmation. We closed above that. That tells you, according to the technical guys, that we are putting in a new bottom. And I can promise you, this is how you lose a lot of money, especially the FOMO guys. Based on this, people said, oh, I'm going to buy the breakout because they think this is now starting a new trend and that's what's coming. Well, they bought here, and guess what? You wake up and look at that move down, and now look where it's at. Well, we never, ever, ever get trapped in that because we do the absolute opposite of that. If we buy a breakout, it's to the downside, right? We want that thing to close right here. That's our cue to start stacking. We start stacking. We start stacking. We start stacking. If it falls apart, it's even better. Here, when it breaks and we start a breakout, this is 100% of the time, guys, we sell that breakout, period. Now, we don't have to sell. We may hold, but see, we stack always on the way down, guys. We don't have to be right. We're not trying to pick the bottom. We want to stack in the FUD times, in the negative times. Right now, let's take a look real quick. Look at the fear and greed index, guys. It's at 22, and it resets in about 3 hours. It's at 22. That's pretty low. That's extreme fear. And so, to get back to it, that's when we buy. people want to buy when there is no fear. Then they FOMO in. We are always, always counterintuitive. Now, that being said, we're not short-term traders. If you need your money back in, let's just say, a year for Ethereum, or actually any crypto, you should probably stay out of it unless you're just going to day trade very, very short term. And then technicals are pretty good for like day trading, hour trading, weekly, not even, maybe swing trading to get in and out, but that's it. But you still align it with your fundamentals. Anyway, guys, I got a little off track, but what I'm trying to say is, to answer the question, to be very, very clear, anyone that's buying Ethereum under 3,000 is going to look like an absolute genius in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, for sure. So what we want to do right now, it's at like 2,600. Let's just say you got $10,000 you want to deploy. Don't go throw or $10,000 into it, because quite frankly, there is so much FUD and negative stuff in the market right now. There is no reason for anything to run. And I don't see any real reason in the next week or two. But that doesn't mean we don't get some type of really good news. But I don't think that's possible to get the news that would really move the market. We might get a rally for a day or two, but I think we're going to need some compliance news or something out of the Fed, and that's going to come like 3 and 4 weeks from now to make a difference before we start getting the new inflation reports and stuff. So anyway, guys, that being said, if you have like $10,000, maybe put 20% in right now and just buy and keep watching, keep buying on the down days, keep buying the dumps, and keep stacking. If we're lucky enough to get to 1,500 to 1,000, that's great. That means you started stacking at 2,600 and you've bought, say, 20%, 20%, 20%, all the way down to 1,000. That's pretty doggone good. You will have 99% of most people beat that has got in that market, say, this year. And then when it runs, and it will, and takes out its old high, see, that's what you want to do, in my opinion, not financial advice. But yes, we want to start stacking right now. Stack, stack, stack. Now, how long are we going to hold this trade? We can hold it forever. That's a really good way to do it. Or no matter what, unless you're just a short-term trader and you're trying to get, 5-10% with big money or something, what you want to do is you want to stack all the way down, and we are going to hold that position until Ethereum takes out its old high, and it will. There's no guarantees, but Ethereum is going to take out its old high. And for the people that get in right here, depends on how low it goes as they stack down, they're going to at least double their money. And we are going to sell at that time. And we will sell on the way out just like we got in. Just like you stack lower and lower, 20%, 20%. When Ethereum takes out its old high, we're probably going to sell, I don't know, 50, 75% at that time. Depends on what's going on in the market. And we might leave 10% and let it run. Or we may just get all of it out immediately when it hits that first resistance. It really depends on what's going on in the market. And then we will start over. We buy the dips, we stack the dumps, and the longer this market goes down to sideways, we're good. Just keep stacking, keep stacking. I don't care if it's $100 a week. Keep stacking, as long as it's a down day and there's a lot of FUD. And the more that meter, that fear and greed index gets down, the better the value, because remember, it's going to take out its old high, and in 10 years, I think it's going to be sitting at 50,000. I have that conviction. That's my answer. I didn't mean to rant for that long, but guys, you can't go wrong. In my opinion, it is the second safest investment I think anyone can make. across the board. I like it better than gold, real estate, anything in the S&P. I like it better than Tesla. The only thing I like better than Ethereum is Bitcoin. That's all I got, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And remember, we never chase anything. We don't buy the FOMO. If you're going to FOMO in, you FOMO at the bottom, right? That's it. We never FOMO in at the top. When you get FUD right now, we buy. Most people are selling. And when the FOMO starts, we're going to get out of those positions and we're going to repeat. Because remember, if the majority were right, the majority would be rich. And we do not want to be in the majority. And another statistic is about 85%, depending on who you ask. Some people go as high as 92% of all traders lose money. We do not want to be in that bottom percentage. That's all I got, guys. Hang in there. Don't let the FUD scare you. Just stick to your convictions. And look, if you do not have the conviction to buy at these levels, or even lower, you should probably not be in crypto at all. But if you do, just have your conviction, stick to your guns. We are not going to sell until we take out the old highs. All right, guys, take care. Again, let me know what you think and hit that like button. It really does help us out a lot.